Hi and welcome back to what's been going on in the garage. I'm just sorry it's been so long since I've been able to do anything, but there's been quite a lot going on, and at the same time not an awful lot to the car apart from replacing the exhausts. So one of the first jobs I had to go at was to see if I could get the windows working, and in doing so the first job I did was to see if the switches were any good, were all working properly, and in fact they were. There was no problem there by the look of things. Now just a little tip about getting these out without marking the veneer is to use either a quite stout cloth or a piece of cardboard, but in this case I used a thin piece of ply, and you get a sharp thin bladed either screwdriver or knife underneath and lever it against the support, in this case the plywood, and this will prevent marking the veneer there. As you can see underneath there, it's quite a bit of a rat's nest, and it's going to take some sorting out underneath there. So now let's get on, and the first job you'll see me doing is changing the centre sections of the exhaust, and then in the later section we'll be moving on to having another go at the window lift system and trying to sort out a short circuit somewhere. I hope you find the information there informative and maybe even entertaining. If so, please leave some comments down below. Well, boys and girls, here we are again at home with Fluffy Puss Motors. Now is midsummer. It is in the high 90s F, about 34, 35 right now. So for those of you in the tropics, keep your hearts out there. You can see now I've been changing the exhausts on the Jag. I've already got the old one off. I'm in the process of fitting a new one. Unfortunately I won't be able to get the camera underneath to show you what I'm doing, but that's what I'm doing right now anyway. I've just got to get the back box in or mid box section in, and then we'll be finished. Then I'll start her up. Let's hear how she sounds. Hopefully a lot better than she was before. So that's bye for now. Here we are, boys and girls. I've just finished the exhaust. Now I'm going to start her up, and let's see what happens. Studio quiet.
This is supposed to be a party, not a funeral. Yeah, but he's reporting. He's doing his report. He's reporting. If that thing's working there, you have to take the one of these. pieces?
Yeah.
3.
4.
4? Oh my little God. What did you have 2 pieces?
Well, this is the middle box on the Jag, and you can see it's just blowing a wee bit where that black mark is there in the centre of the picture. It's blowing on there, and you can see last week I put a new piece in there, on a new side on last week, so it's got to be, that's what I'm going to do now. In the meantime, I've got to break that joint there, and then I've got to go up to here. Let me stop. Yeah, we can see the front mounting there on the exhaust. That's got to come away as well, and the mounting on the back, as I'll show later. You can see there I put WD-40 on it just to help loosen those nuts and bolts, and hopefully it should come away as easily as the other one did. That other piece going up there goes up to the manifold, and I don't intend to replace that at the present time. I'm toying with putting a stainless steel system in eventually. This mild steel system I'm doing now is only a temporary measure and stopgap until I decide what I'm going to do. You can see here I've got the back box, the middle box off now, and it's been supported by the trolley jack, and it's quite imperative that you do this, because otherwise you're going to put far too much strain on the front joint where it's in there. If we can find it somewhere. On there, you can put far too much strain on it, and you risk damaging the downpipe. So it is, you must jack it or hold it up somehow while you take the bolts out. Unfortunately, you can see there a wee bit of rust, which is going to have to be attended to. Back again in a minute. You can see that's where the hole is. It's not too bad really. Seen a great deal worse, of course, but it wasn't going to last a great deal longer, so it's best that it's come out, and put the new one in for the time being, see what happens then. Okay, there you can see the new one with the old one. Hopefully it's going to last a bit longer. And as I say, when I've just shaken the old silencer, the baffles just shook all over the place. There was obviously nothing inside it, so that's why it's been a bit noisy. Okay, we'll go underneath now again and start putting the front section on. And leave it a bit loose, of course, then put the back section in and tighten everything up, I hope. Yeah, I've just given the silencer a shake in here. There's absolutely nothing left in the of the baffles, so wasn't much use anyway. I know you probably can't see me, but here we go again. Sorted the exhaust out more or less, because I've had a previous problem with the windows not being able to lift, and that eventually spread to both windows, so I'm having a go at doing this today. One of the problems, it could be this relay here, but I don't think it is. In the meantime, I had buy another one, which is a SRB 520, which is the replacement, because you can't get these anymore. In the meantime, I was doing this, I found I was getting a short, and eventually last night I found it was coming from here, where this yellow bit is. So I'm going to have to tackle that now. But first of all, I've got to disconnect the battery, because we don't want any accidents, do we? No, we don't. Right, the battery is disconnected, and I'm going to have a go at, if you can see, might not be able to, undo this yellow thing. I'll put my reading glasses on because I can't see. So try and cut this down. See what's there. In the past, this vehicle's had a phone. I'm just wondering if all this is to do with that.
Now the relay for the windowless system is situated behind that steel plate you can see there, and this itself is located in the front footwell on the passenger side. Now to get that plate off you have to undo, I think, 2 or 3 nuts, and it just pulls on. You carefully pull it away, you'll see it behind there. Now, as I've mentioned before, I noticed there was a short circuit occurring when you move the cabling, and I eventually traced that to that. If you can see on the left there, the brown cable has a very small burn mark on it, and that was caused by that cable rubbing on the side or the edge of that steel plate there, and that has caused over the years it to wear through the plastic insulation, and for the copper wires to become bare and occasionally to short out on the side of the of that plate. I mean, obviously this must be attended to as a massive priority, because this kind of thing should or could and will cause a fire if you're not careful. So, and that applies to any car you've got, even classics, ancient, or even the modern car. So you hear any crackling at all anywhere in the wiring circuits, get it attended to. The issue was resolved by the use of some insulating tape around the cable that was being affected, and that the edge of the plate had been rubbing on was also covered in insulation tape to, or in the hope that it will prevent any reoccurrence of this problem.